international break is finally over. Chelsea are back and travel to the Vitality Stadium in hopes of gauging a second victory in our opening 5 in the Premier League. It's a bit of a vicious cycle at the moment. It has been for quite some time now, whereby Chelsea play, we're horrendous. We as fans get annoyed. We as fans need a break. The international sides feature. We're happy for the break. We watch England, get immediately, or your international side, but we watch England, get immediately sick of it and want Chelsea back just for the same thing to happen again until the next international break. Speaking of cycles, we've been struck with injuries once more with Romeo Lavia, who was impressing in training by all accounts from what we heard after nursing a past injury, is now out for God knows how long. 6 weeks? I think it's 6 weeks at this point. It's just becoming a joke now, isn't it? It's becoming a little bit... I'm starting to lose me rag. I mean, I've already lost me rag a few times with regards to the injury situation, but Jesus, it's beyond the joke now, isn't it? It really is. Romeo Lavia's name is now officially added to the list of long-term absentees alongside Bettinelli, Broja, Chalobah, Chukwuemeka, Wesley Fofana, Reece James, and of course Christopher Nkunku. Badiashile was amongst that list, but he has been featuring in first-team training more recently. But let's brush all that aside. Injuries, sure, whatever. Let's brush that aside and let's focus on what's coming up. And what's coming up is, as I said, a trip to face the mighty Cherries. Bournemouth. Many might feel that we're facing the Cherries, or that they feel happy that we're facing the Cherries. We're unbeaten against them since December of 2019, and we actually won the last fixture, which was an away visit, 3-1, with goals from Gallagher, Badiashile, and Joao Felix. And if I'm not mistaken, when we did last lose to them, we went and lost to them on the bounce. I think I was at the home game there where we lost 1-0. Now, Bournemouth are winless so far this season, drawing twice against West Ham and more recently Brentford. Brentford scraping an equaliser in that match and a great goal by Solanke. We'll get to him in just a second. They also suffered back-to-back defeats either side of those draws against Liverpool and Tottenham respectively. Personally, I myself, like many others, are finding it more and more difficult to predict anything regarding Chelsea as of late. 4 wins away from home in the Premier League in the last 12 months. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you listening to what I'm saying? 4 wins away from home in the Premier League in the last 12 months. That's a year, in case you didn't know how months worked. Palace and Villa in October, Leicester in March, and Bournemouth back in May. 9 losses and 4 draws in that time. That's the standard these days. That's what we as Chelsea fans have been told to, how many times have you said to, I'm sure a lot of you have said to your mates or whoever, and you've gone, start to feel what mid-table teams feel. And it ain't great. I fucking hate it. I really do hate it. But the difference is, and this is always my argument, is we're not a mid-table team. And people could laugh and joke and say, like, well, you are. You finished fucking 12th last season, didn't you, you idiot? We're Chelsea. And all jokes aside, it's hard. It really is hard. I don't know how these other teams do it, but it's difficult. That's what we have to put up with these days. That's the standard. Like I said, that's why there's so many people that are convinced that by no means will this be a walk in the park. Despite having beaten them in the last fixture at the Vitality Stadium, and with them being winless so far, simply put, Chelsea are unpredictable, as I said. So you could predict so many other things before a Chelsea score line. Where was I? Simply put, Chelsea are unpredictable. As I said, painfully unpredictable. And it's only going to get harder with this run of games that we have. If we're trying to be serious, injuries or no injuries, we've got Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham and Burnley in our next 4 games. We have to be pulling some numbers out of our arse. Otherwise, we are fucked come the next international break. Arsenal, listen to this. And I know everyone knows it, but just put your head around this. International break after that Burnley game. I think that's the 7th of October, if I'm not mistaken. After that, international break, we're gone for another 2 weeks, and then it's Arsenal, Brentford, Tottenham, Man City, Newcastle, Brighton in the league, Manchester United, all once we're back. Not that I'm expecting anything this season with what we have, but if we can't get through the next 4 unbeaten, is what I'm suggesting, is what we need with those games to follow, then we're in big trouble in October. We're in massive trouble. Lineup-wise, I am expecting no different from what we've seen thus far. Pochettino is, for some reason or another, convinced that a back 3 is the way forward, unlike what we saw in pre-season, which we seem to work absolute wonders. Apparently, a back 3 is the way forward, and Chilwell as left winger is what's best for business, in the words of Triple H. Really have no issues with Malo Gusto so far on the other side. That said, simply put, and I have no doubts that the talent is there. But if Jackson, and I have screamed from the rooftops how excited I am, how excited I still am to see Jackson succeed. But if he wants to succeed and remain our front man, he's going to have to stop missing from 6 yards out. It's becoming a fine line very quickly. Sterling, much like Chelsea, is totally unpredictable. You never know what Sterling you're going to get. But like I said, lineup-wise, I see there being absolutely no changes from what we've seen so far. Predictions-wise, I think it's got a draw written all over it. Maybe even worse. I just don't think we've shown enough quality up top to warrant a reaction whereby we're sat here as Chelsea fans predicting a 2, 3-0 or even 1-0 win. And that's assuming we don't concede, which we definitely will. I'm calling it now. Solanke has 2 goals and 1 assist already this season in the opening 4 games. We've seen the script so many times. We've seen the script so many times before. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. And I know we've faced him before and he's done, he's not, I don't think he's done anything. I'm calling it now. I'm going with either a 1-1 draw or, yes, you've heard it, I think this might be the first time I've actually predicted a loss. But I need to be proven otherwise. I really do. But I think we could either lose 1-0 or draw 1-1. I just can't see us winning. I can't. And it's so depressing that at this point, I'm genuinely struggling to see any way in which we can win a game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth. The Cherries. Not the Cherries. But again, I'm going with either 1-0 or 1-1. But I've gotten to the point now where I physically cannot predict a victory anymore. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the byline, or on the byline for the watch-along, or afterwards, live on this channel, as it will be for every single game for the live player ratings. As always, my name is Harry, up the Chelsea, and peace.